Hey, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for being here. It is good to see you all. Well, kind of, I can't see you, but you can see me. All right. Today we're going to be talking about Buffalo nickels. We've had a lot of questions. I did a couple of shorts on them. I did a video on them as well. And then last week we talked about the hobo nickel, all kind of tied to it. And so I wanted to continue that because we've been asked a question, and I want to pose this to everybody else. So first off, just a thumbs up from everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. What's going on? Coin Junkie, hope you're doing well. Thank you, Farm Dog, for being in here. Siren, good morning. One of my favorite mods. Thank you so much for being in here. I appreciate you a ton for popping in and saying howdy. Sorcerer Stan, what's going on, brother? How are you? Good to see you in here. Nice to see you. So we're going to start off by asking a question, and this question can be put into chat. You guys can search this up. We're going to talk about it here in a couple minutes. But how many people know how many 3.5 legged buffalo nickels there are? Stan Horn, what's going on? 3.5 legged. How many years? Go ahead and put them into chat. And if you know how many years there are, put the years down if you would. And we're just going to kind of leave this question here. I'm going to ask it a couple times as I go through and say hi to everybody. Jeff Davis, what's going on, brother? Dan McCumber, how you doing? Good to see you, bud. Thanks for coming in. I definitely appreciate you. Kane Friday, how you doing? Good to see you, bud. Thank you so much for coming in. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. All right. Again, the year or how many of the Buffalo Nickels, how many years have 3.5 leg buffaloes? The reason I'm going to ask this question is because I was asked this by our one and only Paula Bloom. Howdy doody. She's right here along with Eric Byer. Good
Good
morning,
morning.
fellas. How are you?
Good
Eric is
morning.
still getting coffee.
Nope,
I'm
I'm
not
back.
sure.
Good
Oh, he's
morning.
back. He's back. He's like, I need coffee. Coffee, choppa, 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 choppa.
I am not sure that this is even a question that someone can Google. I can't see your.
You
Oh,
know
let's
what's
see.
funny? It's not. And this is why it's such a good topic.
Oh,
Because as you look at, Siren says she thought there was only one.
mm-mm.
So there's the 3 legged and there's a 3.5 legged buffalo. And if you Google it, the likelihood that you're going to get the right answer is wrong. You're probably not going to be able to find it. Um, Hey, Blistering Barnacles, Steve looking for silver. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Thanks for being in here.
You have a
What's
cherry picker's guide. You can find it.
if you have one? Yep.
Yeah.
What's going on, Begotten? How you doing, bud? Good to see you in. Farm Dog says 1927, 1936, and 1937. Close, my
No,
friend, but no cigar.
no cigar.
No cigar for you. But they are those dates. There
But
are
those are
those
those
dates.
dates. Yeah.
But there are more. And a lot of people are like, nah, what are you talking about? Because when I originally was asked by Paula, I was like, I know of two, maybe three. I think there's three. I know of two. And she's like, nope.
Yes, you're correct, Dan McCumber. It can happen on any date. It sure can. But there are certain ones. I almost said the number.
Yep.
There are certain ones that are listed
And so what I
that
want to
are
do is I kind of want to go through those. And I've got them all pulled up already. We'll pull them up here in just a few moments. But I wanted to give people an opportunity if they wanted to go ahead and look it up real quick to see if they could find it. Because this is one of these things about this hobby. It's not always easy to find information that you're looking for, right?
correct.
Okay, well, I will learn. Farm dog, thank you. Um, but again, there's these things where I thought I knew when I was preparing for some of this. I thought I knew. I was like, okay, well, there's basically the three that were listed there by Farm Dog. And Paula's like, well, how many are there? And I'm like, well, two, I believe three, but two. She's like, nope. Common misperception is that there's two, but there's actually more. And I was like, really? Then she sent me some information on them. So I wanted to share this with you. And then we're not just going to talk about the 3.5 legged buffalo. We're going to be talking about a couple other pieces as well. But as Eric and Paula and I were talking this morning, um, just before going live, there's a lot about the Buffalo nickel. And so this is why over the course of the last 2.5 weeks, you've seen me posting a lot of stuff about the Buffalo nickel. Because as we have relayed information, more questions have come out. I want to make sure that I'm targeting those questions. What's going on, $1 Million Meg? How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Thanks for popping in.
Good morning.
So again, just one of those questions. So for those that are in chat right now, how many 3.5 legged buffalo? Two feathers. See, that's another one. The 2 and 3 feather varieties.
Yeah, that's a great one.
That is another really good because sometimes the information on those is hard to find.
Well, and there's lots of them, but there's only a couple. I think there's only a couple cherry picker varieties, only a couple listed ones.
Flying Dutchman says 26, 36, 27, and 37D.
Close.
You're getting there.
They're the two that he doesn't have listed, I think, are the two that are the least well known.
Yeah, and actually, they're also the two that are the hardest to find.
They are.
Information-wise, there's not a lot of information about them.
No.
Now, you can go to PCGS and NGC if you know what you're looking for, and they're there. They're listed, they're encapsulated, and there's documentation on them as well. Flying Dutchman says the 1916 as well. Okay, we got one more that's withstanding. Does anybody know what it is? So again, this is just information that is 1917D. There you go, Nash. All right, so we now have all
Somebody
of them.
knows how to look up cherry pickers varieties.
Nash is good at looking stuff up. Chat GPT says only the 1913. Chat GPT is dumb. Remember, Chat GPT is only as smart as the information that is put into it.
And they don't. There isn't one.
Yeah, there's not a 1913. But yes, so the years
only one 3-legged though.
And that's the 37.
5 3.5 and 1 3.
Yep, that's the 37D. So we're going to go over these really quick. We're going to talk about these. So again, you have the 1916D, the 1917D, the 1926D, the 1927D, the 1936D, and then you can have the 3-legged in the 37 as well as the 3-leg in 37. So you can't have both in 37.
You can what?
You can have both the 3.5 leg and the 3-leg in 37.
Yes, I believe so.
No. Breen thought that the 3.5 leg. Breen thought that the 3.5 leg was on the filly.
Say that one more time.
Breen thought that the 3.5 leg was on the filly. It is actually they found out it is actually on the Denver. There's not one on the filly.
No. 37D. They're all Ds. They're all Denvers.
I thought you just said you can have one on 37.
Oh, I'm sorry. The 37D, both you can have the 3.5 and the 3-legged one. Right?
What?
Okay. 1937D.
1937D is the 3-legged.
You can also have the 3.5 leg.
Where are you finding that information?
It's on PCGS. I'm going to open up on. Oh, just a sec.
$37D 3-leg. Don't see it on PC. Only the 3-leg.
Oh, you know what? Never mind. I'm looking at it's 36. They have it listed wrong on this sheet. It says 37, 3.5, but it's actually not the 37. It's actually the 37, 36. They have it listed
And
wrong
that
on
was,
here.
and actually what I was talking about was on the 36D. Breen thought that the 36D originally was thought to be on the
On the Philadelphia.
36P. But
Why
it's
is it
on
always
but
Denver?
why is it always sequential dates? 16, 17, 26, 27, 36, 37.
Uh-oh.
Now,
Now we're
my
getting
thinking would
chaotic
be
here.
that they reused the reverse dies. However, that specific topic is brought up. And they say that they're not
It's just an
reused
area where
dies.
a lot of debris and stuff probably
Clashing
collected,
and
and they
clashing.
polished the hell out of that area always.
Right. And on the 37D, the little peeing line, that's one of the die markers for the 37D is the buffalo's peeing. It looks like he's peeing. Those I think are from rust. So the buffalo nickel dies were known to rust. And they say that these are from abrasion from clash marks, but I think that they could be both. They could be from clash marks or from removing rust on the dies.
So this is
Because
the
if you
night. Go ahead, Paula. Keep talking.
no, go ahead. If you look on the 37D, one of the die markers it looks like the buffalo is peeing. They're little raised dots coming off of his little unit. I'll
Right
be
here.
nice. The unit.
You can see where my
He's
mouse
not
is
thinking
pointing.
you're nice right now, calling it a little unit.
Well, it is kind of little. I don't think it's like that in real life.
For a buffalo, it's a sad buffalo. But if you can see right here, let me see if I can zoom this in a little bit. Hard to
You have to
do
download those photos to be able to zoom in on them.
Yeah, so quit jumping around, dagnabbit.
Yeah, just download it and then it'll see the little arrow.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a freaking pain in the butt. I hate it when I have to do this.
Anyway, I think that is rust, and that is caused from rust on the dies. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, it's like, come on, stop it.
I did. I said unit, Dan.
Driving me crazy. Try and get this to come up real quick. It's easy when you're looking at these.
Buffaloes are a great coin.
So let me see if I can open the file now. Okay, so there we go. So now we can actually zoom in and move that over. How about that? You seeing that better now?
Let me switch over
These
to
are the lines that she's talking about in the 37. Hey, what's going on? Me with the $25 super chat. Take that, Stan. Thanks, Bud, for the super chat. I appreciate you, me. What's on, Hassan Hook? How you doing, Bud? Good to see you.
Yep, right there.
This is
Those
what you're
little
talking
raised,
about.
little
So
raised
what is the
marks.
cause of that?
Well, I think it's from die rust.
So he just didn't use it enough?
Well, rust on a die can happen within hours.
That's right.
It depends
on anything.
Yeah, on
that's
anything.
exposed steel. It can oxidize real fast.
Hold on. Hey, honey, I know what my problem is.
And that's why they seal the dies. But sometimes that sealant that they use wears off and stuff. So,
or they don't seal the dies and they sit there. I mean, a lot of car prep is like that. When people are prepping metal on cars, they'll sand it and then they'll come back the next day and there'll be surface rust.
Yes, exactly.
Sorcerer Stan just gifted 20 memberships.
I see that.
Holy cow. All right. AZ Coins, Rockzilla, 7 stacks, Michael stacking, James Schultz, Matt T, J Dud, Wolf, Inkman, Kellen, Perry Custom, Fat Baxter, Bitbud, excuse me, Azure, John Jacobs, Mandy's Candy, Papa Frank, Charles Latre, Bart Cubbins, Brenda Shank. Wow. Thanks, guys. I appreciate the support. I really do. Y'all are awesome. Thank you so much. Y'all are crazy. That's nuts. Y'all are fun. Thank you. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. That's amazing. Hey, what's up, Chief Stacker? How you doing, bud? All right, trying to get back into this. Sorry. All right, go ahead and resume. I apologize. Didn't mean to cut you guys off.
No, I'm good. Yeah, Ray said it looks like the buffalo's peeing it. That's exactly what they say it looks like.
Jesus, or he says, I got a 20D that looks funny. A 20D buffalo that looks funny? Well, take photos of it. Send it in.
So the 17D was actually one of the later discovered ones. The other ones were discovered before the 17D. So I'm not sure if they would be willing to take new submissions for it or not, but it can happen. I think that the reason those were chosen as being listed was just because of the severity, the extent of the removal of that the leg.
We'll open this up, and this is the 1917.
Just like the 2 feather buffaloes, those can be found on any date and are found on multiple dates.
So here's the 1917D. And then you see that 3.5 layers of the leg. You can see where it's been abraded down here. And you think all this field stuff down here, this is all from dye rust?
Rust. I do. And I think that I mean it is a well-known area for clashing on the buffaloes, but it could also be from them removing dye rust.
Oh, sorry, my mind went to the wrong place when you said that's an area for clashing.
Clashing.
Poor buffalo.
I know. I love that coin though. I do love that coin.
I actually liked it. That's when they started realizing that their coins were kind of boring.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there was an actual competition to get a more interesting coin out into circulation. I don't know, 1913 or 1912, they had a national competition for designs. I'm thinking that. Let me see.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me see if I'm right.
But Barber always has his say. So, and on these also, you'll notice that the back, the hind leg is typically weak also.
Right here.
It was 1912.
Yeah.
It was a competition, and it was won by James Earl Frazier.
Frazier. Yep. But then they had to make one more die from the V-nickel.
So that was probably
allegedly.
It was probably made before it was set in stone they were going to make buffaloes.
Yep.
And there's only 5 of those known. All are accounted for, correct?
5 known. All are accounted for.
That's right.
3 are proofs. And one was originally suspected to be counterfeit.
I used to love the story of the missing buffalo or the missing V-nickel. Because it was missing for years, and it turned out the guy never took it in the first place.
Yeah, and he even put a bounty out. Put a bounty out. How clever of him.
Yeah.
How clever. He did.
Now, is it the 1916 or is it 1917 that they also talk about? There's the potential for the DDO.
Are you talking about that there is a DDO on?
Yeah. So one of the two, as I was reading, looking at the
The
information,
17D, they think may be a DDO. I
okay,
think.
that's the one that I have here.
Yeah.
Now, in looking at it, I didn't see exactly where that is. Are they talking about the date here in the 9?
Probably the date.
I wonder if they're talking about the top of the 9.
Don't know.
Oh, you can see it. It kind of looks that way. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more on the F. You can kind of see
So
something
all
there
of
in the F.
almost all dates, the F is doubled. The initials are doubled.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Even on the proofs. 13, 14, 15, 16, and I think 36 and 37 have proofs. I think, but 13, 14, almost all dates, the F is doubled. Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that the F was doubled on all of those. Again, something else that you learn. So, and
that's normal.
And that's a normal thing.
Yes.
So what happens if you find one that's not doubled?
Well, I don't know. If it's not doubled, that's probably normal for that date and that mint.
Interesting. Very cool. And then the next one is the 26. Let's go ahead and go through this wicket again.
Morning,
I wish I would have realized I couldn't zoom in on these when I did that, but it's okay. And then here's the 26. Now you don't see
1916 is a well-known doubled die, Flying Dutchman. So that wasn't what he was talking about. One of the 3.5-legged buffaloes that they suspected may be a double die.
Oh yeah, thank you for the clarification on that. Yeah, it's the specifically the 3.5.
Yeah.
But again, you see that there, and then
that's beautiful. The 16.
That's a really pretty field in this area. It doesn't have that area.
Yeah.
So what are some of the other pickup points on some of these? I mean, obviously you have these, but for authentication purpose.
The leg alone is the die marker.
That's that is the thing.
It is the thing.
But they can't be replicated close enough to be. I guess you'd see tooling marks and stuff like that.
You would see tooling marks, yeah.
It's very cool. Yeah, see the 16 and the 17 I did not know about. I knew about the other ones. I knew the 36, the 26 and the 36. Or is it the 27 and the 36? And I thought there was one on the 26, but the other two I just wasn't aware of. Just didn't know enough about them. Me says I have a 38D FS 514 OMM4. I'll have to pull that up. I don't know what that one is. Eric, you happen to know over mint mark? Obviously, it's a repunch mint mark, but
which one?
38D FS 514.
OMM4.
There are four of them. There are four of them.
Exactly which one it would be.
Yeah, there's 4 of them.
Yeah. But they're all pretty nice. You usually can see the top of the S on top of the D and then the crossbar going through. If I'm not mistaken. I've actually found a couple of those. You look real quick.
This one's a
You're
little
not
less
in my
pronounced.
comfort. You're a little bit out of my normal comfort zone. So
no, it's all good.
Yeah, I think the one that you're talking about is the 511. That's the big one.
So there's 5 of them, and number 4
There's 5 of them altogether.
you
But
can see the crossbar
yeah.
in this inside of the D. It's actually a super strong crossbar too. 511 is the one you can see above the mint mark.
Above them, yeah.
513 you can see south. But they're all really cool.
They are really cool.
I'm not like into the OMM5 looking at it but it's there until you can. My philosophy is kind of the same as a lot of the attributors is until you can really disprove it, you just keep it.
So there is the 511.
Yeah, 511's nice. Actually, they're all nice except for 515. And 515 is kind of like a little gouge to the southeast. And I guess I can see where they would say that would be the loop of an 11, but it's misplaced if it is.
Loop of an 11.
Or S, yeah. Yeah, I'm multitasking and I'm not good at it.
I can multitask really well as long as I can do things one thing at a time.
Yeah, I'm taking photographs for the website while we're talking.
Nice.
So here's the one that me's talking about. This is the 514. And you can see that northwest or northeast.
I don't see what you're showing. Oh, because I have a really bad delay.
Yeah, I had a bad delay too.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Right in the center of the D.
Yeah,
there's a real high. The relief is really good.
Yeah,
or I guess it would be the incuse, because it would be incuse on the die. It's still really, they didn't polish it out real well.
Hard to see on this one. It's I'm zoomed in a lot.
The Variety Vista photo is actually pretty good.
Cherry Picker's Guide has a 1913 as a 3.5 leg.
Me says he was going to crack it out of the slab to put it in a book. What's the grade on it?
They sure do. They do. They have a 13 type 1, 3.5 leg.
Really?
Yep, they sure do. The result was
Man, I'm learning all sorts of stuff today. I'm feeling good.
This reportedly was discovered in about 1988.
So it's been around a while.
It's been around a while.
Population's probably 1 then.
They sure do. I did not know about that one.
But I do have a soft spot for nickels, so this stuff is really good stuff.
I have a soft spot for Buffalo nickels. I don't have a soft spot for Jeffersons at all.
I don't know why I do, but I look at the new ones, everything.
I know you do. Somebody has to do it.
That's right. But I always, even when I got into Lincoln Cents, I always, if I had the opportunity, I would always buy nickels too. So I literally probably have, 1,000 rolls of nickels to look through.
Thank you for that, Farm Dog.
Yeah, so Farm Dog, here is the 1913. Right, and here
type 1, yep.
1913. That type 1.
Mm-hmm.
Zoom out a little bit up here. Oh, so here's the half leg, and then here's the.
That's really abraded, man.
Yep, this whole area down here. It's almost like a 2-legged buffalo.
That's really abraded. Nice one.
This one has a lot of stuff on it.
Yeah.
In the field.
I actually like the picture they took of it, though. It's a good one.
It is a good
picture. It's a great picture.
And again, we'll come over here. We can look. That's a great coin. Now this one, the F is not doubled.
Can't see. I have such a lag with you. I need to put.
The actual feed, I'm lagging real bad too.
I wonder
Yeah,
why.
really bad.
I was like, you're talking, and I'm like looking at the picture, and then I looked down, and my bar was literally halfway back.
I wonder why.
I don't know. It seems to be keeping up now.
Hey Ray, it's only 4.5, bud.
The 5-legged buffalo. It's still
Yeah,
there.
there's
It's only
five, there is
4.5.
five
Right.
leg, there is 5-legged buffaloes.
Also,
Those are
6-legged
double
buffalo.
die.
So why is the
Those are
what is the
those are
5-legged
actually double
buffalo?
dice. There are 5-legged buffaloes. Those are actually double dice.
Yep.
Mhm. Let's see, the 1930 is a 5-legged, the 1931S. But that the 1930 is actually referred to as a 5-legged. But the 31S is just referred to as a double.
Well, I can't find an image on that one.
On PCGS.
Nope.
So it
1930?
is the 31S is DDR002 FS801.
FS801, gotcha. Okay, I've
And-
got it. I'll pull it up here in just a second.
Yeah, the 30 is DDR001 FS801. One on this 13, what is the issue with it? It has 3.5 legs, me. It's a semi-tripod.
And this is
There are a lot of
FS801?
decent.
I'm sorry?
Is that FS801?
Yes, FS801.
All right. And
There are a lot of nice buffalo varieties that I
And
really
there's
had no clue
the-
about.
There's the doubling in front leg.
So here are the dates for the cherry pickers for the Phoebus Stanton listed 2 feathers. 13D, 13S, 15, 15D, 16, 17, 17D, 17S, 18, 18S, 19, 19D, 19S, 20, 20D, 20S,
Hey,
21,
thanks, Kansas Stacker,
21,
for the super chat.
23.
Appreciate you.
25D, 25S, 26D, 27D, 27S, 28S, 29S, 30S. There's a lot of them.
The rarity and value of the
mackerel.
1920. The rarity and value of the
Yeah.
1921.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
Do this
It's a
real
great-
quick. Kansas City Coins. Here is his channel, or their channel. I shouldn't say his. That's an assumption. There's their channel. Go ahead and
Can
go
I point
check
something
that
out? Can I point something out,
Certainly, go ahead.
Frostbyte?
I would expect nothing else.
I want to. So for those of you that are big fans of Nicodate, study the coins first, because like for the
Right.
1916 double die obverse, the FS101, there you can tell by the feathers and other spots on the coin other than the date if that one's a DDO, and you will be and you can actually have it slabbed and attributed without the date being present for that variety. So be cautious. Make sure you're looking at the coins carefully before you decide to nicodate.
I
have
don't
seen-
nicodate.
Don't nicodate. Don't nicodate if you find one.
Well, I don't nicodate anyways because the coins are already most of them are commons anyways.
Yeah.
And the ones that aren't common, you can either tell by the way the relief is on the reverse, because there's type 1 and type 2. And like you said, by the feathers. There's stuff that you can diagnose and say what it is. Nicodate is just acid.
Yes.
And it actually picks up the pressure marks from when it was hit in the press. So it automatically, even if it's worth 10 cents, it automatically makes it worth a nickel if you use it. It 100% right off the top. So there's no extra value knowing the date if you nicodate. Unless you have to. I mean, there's a reason if you just want to because you know it's junk, by all means. But I don't nicodate.
Yeah.
That's like cleaning. I don't clean. I rarely, sometimes to take a photo, I'll have to take a Q-tip with like a little dot of like solvent to get like a piece of wax off or something. But that's as far as I go with it. So yeah, don't alter coins if you don't have to. I guess that's the best way of saying it.
I see people. So I've seen people do it to fill their books, and I suppose that's okay if you're just doing it.
But that's what I'm saying is most of the stuff they're nicodating, they could fill their books for a quarter in the bins.
That is true.
You know what I'm saying? They could just spend a quarter. But I guess there's a lot of people that get gratification out of, and I'm one of them. I really like finding the stuff on my own. I don't like buying it.
Right.
I don't want to. I have bought more coins in the last year than I have bought in 20 years, probably. I mean, I shouldn't say that because I buy rolls and rolls and rolls and rolls and bags and bags and bags of coins. But I've bought varieties that I know are the correct, just so I have a collection, because a lot of the times when I'm attributing, I actually go to physical coins to try to match them up.
Yeah.
So I like to have an example of every single thing I can possibly get.
Yeah.
And I'm up to almost 2,000 different examples now.
Nice.
So I'm getting up there. Not Dr. Griffin or Brian Allen or those guys, not up with them yet, but I'm getting close. I think Brian is up to, I think they're both up to only in the like 30s or 40s from having a complete Kaneka.
Oh gosh, that's crazy.
That includes all the old stuff. Yeah.
Thanks, $1 Million Meg, for the super chat. I appreciate you.
Nice.
Like Stan and me are cooler than I am, but I appreciate you. Yeah, Stan, I'm not sure why the gifted memberships aren't doing it. They should be firing that off. I need to check that out and see what's going on.
It fired off on my screen.
Well, the gifted memberships, no, against there's the boss. So they try to knock each other off. The gifted memberships should count. I'm not sure why they aren't. It might be a change. Because they did do some updates on that. So I'll check and see if they maybe made a change and removed that. Because I thought I had that set up before. It might just be memberships. And if it's just memberships, then I need to rework that. So.
And also a shameless plug here. When I start doing that Eric's nonsense shorts, I will be probably asking for people that have significant nickel and dime errors or varieties.
Nice.
To maybe borrow them for a week or two. So I can get photos. I've got a lot. I've probably got about 1,000 other denomination varieties here. But there's so many that I'm missing.
Yeah.
Especially in Roosevelt times when you get into 46, 47, those years, there's just tons and tons of varieties.
There's so much with buffaloes. It's amazing.
Buffalo too. I was just looking at
Just so
the variety Vista stuff, and there's nice stuff. It's not like little little teeny mini varieties for bluegills.
Yeah, and there's a lot that's not listed. I mean, not listed in the cherry pickers. They're not.
Well, there's tons of stuff that's
they're listed. They're listed, but they're not cherry pickers varieties. Yeah.
And there's still stuff that's not listed.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
It's crazy on how much new stuff. I'm just looking today. I got photos from somebody, and I get a lot of 1961p photos. This is a doubled die, and I actually had somebody send me photos of a doubled die today, and it's real.
Nice.
And there is no 61 business strike doubled dies.
I think one of the reasons it's tough on buffaloes is that once they get worn, it's tough to see anything.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. But some of them are so nice that you can't not
Mhm.
see them.
Yep.
So I was just going through looking at them on Variety Vista, and I was like, wow, there's a ton of nice stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing. I don't have a lot of buffaloes. I might have five buffalo nickel varieties in my whole collection.
You need to change that.
You know what? I'm being forced to do that. The last couple shows I've went to, the dealers just aren't bringing a lot of Lincoln cents
Yeah.
because it's weight that they don't want to carry.
I thought he was going to blame it on me. He's like, the last couple shows I've came to.
Well, I bought silver. That's what I mean. I bought a bunch of dimes. I bought a bunch of last time it was a bunch of war nickels. I mean, I literally brought 35 war nickels.
Do
So
planchet
me asks a good question.
Yeah.
Were you tackling that?
Yeah, he just asked if planchet errors add to the value of a coin. They can.
Absolutely can.
Yeah, it depends. So there's three areas of the minting process that errors occur: planchet, die, and strike. And planchet errors can, like, I've seen big blowhole errors and clipped coins, or they used to be referred to as incomplete planchets. They should still be referred to as incomplete planchets, but those are planchet errors. And we've seen, clips that are worth a lot of money. Some elliptical clips, bow tie
I know
clips.
that there's something with clips in like off center strikes and stuff like that. If the date's on it, it makes it worth more money.
Yeah, if the date's on it, yeah, it is always. Dated errors are always worth more.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool things.
I shouldn't say always, but most of the
No,
time.
they don't, Eric. Is that aimed at me, Farm Dog? And if so, what about? Or is there another Eric? I think there's another couple Erics in here.
I don't know. Me said something about no, you can't, Paula, or something like that.
Oh.
I don't know what he's talking about, but yes, you can.
Who else is here? Let's see. Hey, Kevin Hawthorne's in the house. What's going on, Kevin? Kevin's a new buddy of mine. He is the YouTube famous dude. He is in transportation in Florida, and has recently taken up the channel and comes in and says hi. So good day, Kevin. How are you? Thanks for coming in, bud.
And I can't read your chat that's up there because I'm looking at chat on my phone, so I can't look. I'm looking at your live stream on my phone. So if a question comes in from your portrait mode, I can't.
Oh,
see
yeah, I got you. The only things that have been coming in is Anxious Stacker said that he's got 100 ounces of silver weight in constitutional silver, hasn't searched through. He'd love to have a video on what to look for. And it's like, that'd be a long
There's
video.
so much to look
so
for.
much stuff. So I'll
best
send
thing
him
you
some
can do-
resources.
Separate it all by date,
Yep.
and then go to Variety Vista or something for each date and just take a peek at what they have.
The big thing when you're searching coins, and we've talked about this a lot, the most beneficial thing that you can do is to sort it ahead of time. Get them set by year, and then take the year and then separate it by mint mark. And then,
Well, you're
only-
going to waste a lot of time if you don't know what you're looking for and
Yeah.
you don't know how to identify it. You need to learn how to identify what you're looking for first.
Yep, it's true, Farm Dog. That's right. Yep. I even ask dealers, you got any Lincoln cents? And they'll say, oh, yeah, I got tons of them. I just don't bring them here.
Aw.
But when they sold the one Lincoln collection that had the 58 double dies and all that in it about 2 years ago,
Yes.
that show was full of Lincoln cents. I walked out. I found so many. I found a 44 D over S, 1 and 2 in junk bins. BU.
Wow. Wow.
Well, you can find a
So-
lot of really cool things by looking through some of that stuff.
Yes, you can.
And you can also find, and I found a couple really cool things. I actually got one that I need to send you, Paula. I got a 1945 MS-66 Merkheim that looks like it was a strike through that had been abraded away. You can see the imprint of Liberty on the other side. I want to send you some photos of that and tell me what you think of that.
So that wouldn't be a strike through. That would be a clash.
Or I mean a clash. I'm sorry. It'd be
Yeah,
a
yeah.
clash. You can see some of the lines in it, but you can tell that it's been polished, or like it's been like they tried to remove it.
Mhm.
Some of they got most of it, but you can still see it's pretty clear. I'll share that with you.
Okay.
But I found some really cool varieties looking at just old slabs that people have. I found two on eBay. One was a buffalo nickel that had the die crack running through the date or the 5 cents is the type 1.
Mhm.
So you can find a lot of stuff just because it's in a slab doesn't mean people have identified the error that's on it, right? So
More variety.
or variety, yeah. But there's just a lot of cool things. Hey, 75 in pennies, baby, what's going on?
But I can tell you that if you talk to anybody who coin roll hunts and has been doing it for a while, and especially people that search for varieties, they will all tell you that they wish they could go back and look through the coins that when they first started out with, they put back into circulation.
That is one of the biggest advice when people start buying a lot of BU rolls that I
Mhm.
give. Save them and look at them again in a year.
Yep.
Because I looked at stuff that I bought when I first got into it in the late 90s, and this is just 5 years ago. And I found so much stuff. I was like, ooh, how did I miss this? How did I miss this?
Right?
And I did. I missed a lot of stuff.
It's true. Or you go back and you go, what the hell was I thinking? Why did I save this?
Yeah, I'm not doing it yet, but I will. I'll hit you up when I get ready to start doing it. I've got to get down I got to actually catch up on everything I'm doing around here.
Nicely.
And then I'll hit you up for that because I don't have that. I know it.
Hey, Anthony, one of my best coins was
Anthony.
found at a thrift store. It's amazing where you can find stuff.
Mhm.
There was I don't remember who it was. Might have been Shay. We found an amazing DDO in the change, like you put a penny, take a penny,
Find a penny, leave a penny. Yes,
Yeah.
he does that all the time.
found-
he has no shame.
yeah, and found like an
Yeah.
amazing DDO.
Yep.
So I looked through, and I've learned I always have this thing with me, and I've done that at a bunch of gas stations when I go in, and they have the change thing. I'm like, I look at this real quick, and she's like, yeah. What are you doing? Like, well, sometimes there's things on them that you might not be able to see without a loop, and so found an RPM on a 54. What's the one with the funky S in it? It's the 54S, right? It has the little hook coming out of the top of it.
Oh, though it connects it to the 5?
Yeah. Isn't that a 54S?
Yes.
Anyway, I showed it to her and she looked at it and she's like holding the loop out here. And showed her, it's like, look, so this is something that people collect. And she's like, why? That's what people do. So you can find stuff in a lot of cool places. But yeah.
You can, especially if you know what you're looking for.
But that's the key, right? You
The
have
key
to
to,
know.
the key to success is to educate yourself. The more
and I
you
think-
learn, the more you'll find.
A great piece of advice I'm looking when you're searching for something that's different, get really familiar with
What's normal?
normal is.
Mhm.
Yep.
So you look at a coin and it looks normal, you know it's normal. And that's a lot of the stuff I find even when I'm doing reveals,
Yep.
it just doesn't look normal. So I actually stop and look harder at it.
That's why it's a good idea to separate them by date and mint mark.
That's right.
because
That's right.
You'll start, your eye will start to train on what's normal, and then when something something pops up that's different, you'll go, that's peculiar.
Yeah, a
Kansas
lot
City.
of times they'll say, wow, that's extra fat there. That's not usually that thick.
Right.
And then you look around and you find something else.
Oh,
that's
do you
out
know
of
how
the
many
ordinary.
times I've thrown back 1968? It's like, because 1968, they're a little bit thicker anyway.
Oh, they're horrible.
And then I go back
The
and I go
master
back and
die
it's
was
like,
worn out.
oh man, that
No.
one was like huge. I should have kept that one. But Kansas City Coins said high mint steak grade conditions and new and old error varieties are keepers, but I keep all my coins. Paul is a hoarder too. Eric's a
I am a
hoarder.
hoarder.
I'm a
I am.
hoarder.
I resemble that remark.
I am a hoarder. I have a bunch of, so I went through, if you guys watched that stream where I went through the Dr. what's her name? Dr. Polly something. The Reverend Polly Murray. I went through those quarters to look for that die clash. And there were those supposedly there is a double die. If you look on Variety Vista on the Philly, supposedly there is a double die on the two. The first two, let's see, or the only two, 1924. Yeah. No, on the 2024, 1924. What am I talking about? On the first two of the date. Well, I'm questioning whether that's actually a double die. They're calling it a class 8. Calling it a class 8. I have a couple that if that's what they say they are, and if they actually are, then I have a couple different ones. So I looked through.
There probably is. Look at the nickels in 2023 and 2024.
Here's the thing, though, Eric.
There's a lot of doubling just like this all over.
One day, so only on the first two. And I have almost the entire bag of them, which
Really?
tells me that it's probably not, because obviously I don't just have 2 dies.
Well, believe it or not, it's not impossible that you would have 2
It's
dies.
not impossible, but the odds are not
Right, because I've had rolls
in a whole
like
bag. In a whole bag.
especially in 2024, since they're running 63 presses now instead of 16.
Exactly.
And I don't understand that. They put 4 mini presses in the spot that they have 1 press, but yet they're only running 63 presses. So there's 1 spot that only has 3 presses there.
Right.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
But they run different denominations on all those presses. So they might only have 2 quarters running when they do that tub.
So Eric, I got a question for you.
Sure.
Would you say that this is a pressing topic?
It's pressing.
Depressing.
Yuck.
It's a depressing
So
topic.
anyway, I sent a couple of them to Ken Potter because he was watching. He was in the chat watching.
Yeah.
When I went through that. I think you were there too, but I don't know. You might not have been, but
I have actually been watching lately. There's only a couple shows I didn't watch.
Yeah. Just don't look at my eyes when you're watching.
Don't what?
Don't look at my eyes. I won't be on camera for a while.
Oh, don't worry about that.
I won't be on camera for a while. But so I sent him a couple examples of it because he has his doubts too. So we'll see.
That's a lot. There's a lot of stuff out there that I don't subscribe to wholeheartedly because number one, I haven't looked at it enough. But from mathematical standpoints, it's just starting to get too much.
Well, and here's the thing, right? There's a race now. People want to be first.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And instead of being right.
Right.
And so there is a race to be the first to put it on your website.
Looking at this, it looks like it could be a double die, but like you say, it could be.
I agree.
It could be master hub doubling.
But right. And when you have them in hand and you turn that coin and you look at it from different angles.
Is it still there?
It's still there.
Oh, it would still be there. This is pretty heavy. I'm looking at pictures of it now.
Right. It's still there, but you can see things that make you go, I have them here. I have examples of them right here in front of me. but
Well, put it up on your scope.
She's on her phone.
I can do that. I don't know, man. Like I said, I have.
One of the issues I have with this, like the listing here, is he's just got the date. He doesn't
The
have
date.
anything else.
That's it.
There
That's
should be
it.
something. And you know, there's die scratches and die gouges and stuff all over that.
Right.
That he and that is part of the issue I have with that gentleman. You know, is he keeps die markers to himself.
That doesn't
So,
help
not
the
all the
community at
time.
all.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, not all the time, but he does on a lot of stuff. And maybe it's just because he doesn't want to. He thinks
that's
it's not
the one
going to be worth anything, and he just doesn't want to take the pictures.
I just kept this one because it had those, and I took a picture of it so I can make a little thumbnail thing with what bite marks look like. Aye. Make focus.
Here we go. Okay, so let's talk about what we're seeing here.
So many of these, now it looks a lot different under the loop. I'm looking at it under my scope, and I'm sitting at my coffee table, so I can't change the lighting. So I'm having to use my scope lighting. But that's one. I can't get it right.
So Coins wants to know, Paula, is a 1 cent coin editable?
Editable.
Editable?
Yeah, you can edit it.
You can editable.
You can edit it.
I don't know about eating it, but it definitely tones your coins.
I kept, see that little dot in front of the two?
Yes.
That's why I kept this one. That's why I kept these, because it had that little marker right there.
Is it on all of them?
But so that's on.
See, that looks like different doubling than
it does. That's why I kept it.
That's on Variety Vista.
Mm-hmm. This is a different die, but and like I said, it's not going to show up great because my lighting.
Turn it to the left.
I think this is the one. This is the example I saved that looked like the one listed on Variety Vista.
And
like I said, it looks a lot different with when I look at my loop, it has the same relief. So
when you looked at the first one looked more like mechanical or machine doubling.
It's not though.
Well, this one doesn't, but the
it's
first one
standing
did.
up pretty good. It doesn't take dimensionally. It doesn't take away from the design.
Right.
So explain that. So for the people who are new to that, what do you mean by doesn't take away from the design?
Okay. Well, you want me to put something under a scope and show you?
Put something and show it. I'm gonna go grab some coffee.
Let me.
So, but you, as you saw, I have two different examples, two different dies, two different examples.
Yep.
I think there's something else going on besides hub doubling, but I'm gonna go grab some coffee. I'll be back.
All right, this should work.
Like, don't talk to me. I'm going to go get coffee. Yeah, so I was referencing the first one, this one in relation to the first one, where it looked like there was stuff happening on both sides of the coin. Hey, Paula, Meg wants a cup.
There we go.
Gotcha. Okay, let's go ahead and make this big.
All right, now can you see? Oh, you can see my pointer. Good. Machine doubling. When machine doubling comes, you would see doubling like across, like I'm going up the 9. Let's say it would be here. It would be up to 7. It would take away from this overall dimension from right here to right here. So machine doubling always, we'll say, consumes the actual dimension of the design. Whereas her doubling was out to the side here.
Mhm.
Well, here, let me.
And if you look, like I said, if you look at it under a loop, it's the same relief. So it's not like flat and shelf-like like machine doubling
Yeah.
is.
So
Yeah, you
this
can
is
see it,
where
right? That actually shows it pretty good.
Yeah.
Let's see. That looks pretty close. Looks like you have, let's see.
Whoops. Sorry,
and I haven't
bumping.
seen any 2024 coins yet.
That actually could be it, because there is a little
Mhm.
on the top of the 2, right between the 2 and the 0. On the top loop, there is a southeast die scratch that I think I
Mhm.
see.
Right here.
Right where?
Where my mouse is going.
No, other side. Between the 2. Oh, I can't see your mouse. I just see a little flat.
I can't see his mouse either.
But basically between the 2 and the 0, there's like a little teeny. It looks to be very short, but it's there.
There's
And
two.
from what I can see,
I see 2 die scratches on hers. One
it's
right off the
there.
curve of the 2 and one closer to the 0. Or the 0. What's up, Tiger? How you doing, bud?
But yeah, I think I see that on the pictures that he has up there. Which,
So let's look at that other one. Let me find an example. There's that other one. And that's a
that
lot
one's
more
totally-
minor.
Yeah.
It's a lot more minor, but it's there. And this is
And
definitely different.
there
And
is
this is the
something
one, yeah,
too,
with the
when
little
you
mark
get
on it.
master hub doubling,
Mhm.
there can be slight differences
Right.
in how it expresses itself when they make the die. So you can have, like, the 61P is a great example of that. You have 3 master hubs that were used a lot in 1961, and a tremendous amount of the coins have the master doubling on it.
Yes, Farm Dog, there is. There is a 2024 Reverend Polly Murray, Philadelphia quarter. That's what this is. But this is a different one than
And
the
it's
one
different because it's not as heavy on the inside of the 2,
Mhm.
and it's higher up on the top.
And I have several examples with that little die dot that's right in front of it. That you see, you see what
Yeah,
I'm
you're talking about the little gouge that's up by the
Yes.
neck. Yeah.
Yes. I have several examples of this with that same thing. And then I have several examples. And then, oh, look at that's the bites.
Yeah.
But I have several examples of this one too. So
But the one looks the same.
mhm.
The one that you had up. This
One looks the same as the one listed, right? That was why I kept it. But I sent examples of this one, 2 examples of this one to Ken. I found the other one after I had already sent him the examples of this.
You're privileged. He don't look at coins for a lot of people that much.
Oh, he better. I'll call him. I'll call him.
He
in the middle
kind
of
of
the
stays away from it. He's had people I see ask him, "Can you look at it?" And he'll say, "I don't do that right now." So,
Who's that?
Ken Potter.
Oh, yeah.
But he comes to my live streams too.
That's great. Well, your guys' live streams are pretty good. I enjoy watching it because it's content that I don't normally engage in. It's different denominations, and that's where I get my fill of it. I mean, like living vicariously through everybody on there.
So Ken's idea when he first started it, Live Coin Q&A was Ken Peavy's brainchild, was because there was so much bad information out there that he wanted a platform to give people where they knew that with an email attached, where they knew that if they sent their questions, they would get accurate information.
Yeah.
What we do is if we have any question at all about what we're looking at in somebody's question, we have
A lot of resources.
a lot of resources, a lot of great people that we can go to and ask. And we do, you know, there's times when we get things that are common, like coins that we'll scratch our head and go, well, I think that's machine doubling, but I better double check.
Yeah.
So we will double check. And that was Ken's brainchild for this. So that's what we do. That's why a lot of people say, well, you know, a lot of the stuff you show is just minor. Well, we do that intentionally because we want to encourage people who are brand new. If they find a little die chip and we know they're brand new and they are really excited about it, we'll show it.
Right.
You know, we don't make a huge deal out of
And
it.
there's nothing wrong. I mean, a die chip
Yeah.
is, it would probably be classified as a minor error because.
Well, that depends on who you talk to.
Well, you know what I'm saying? It is an evolution of the die,
But it's an educational opportunity.
which would make it fall into die cracks, cuts.
Yeah, I think of them as more, depending on the size, I think of them as more of a die stage.
Yeah, I do that.
Than
Think
an
of it
error,
as stage,
but-
and I use them more as markers as I do as.
Yep. So
Hey, Anthony asks, doesn't Class 8 tilted hub doubling sometimes make a double die look like machine doubling?
It can, but not usually. The thing about machine doubling is, like I explained, it changes everything dimensionally. You lose dimension with machine doubling. Some of the minor Class 8 and in the new stuff, you know, Class 8, Class 9,
central.
Class 8 can be around the edges, I guess.
See, and that's
but I don't subscribe to that much.
I don't either. That's one of the things I talked about when I was looking through these. I'm like, I think that Class 8, the way it happens should be centrally located, more centrally located.
Well, and it wasn't, and that was why Class 9 came out. Class 9 always starts at the center of the design
because of the way the dies are shaped.
Right, because usually how it happens is it comes down, the press comes down on the die blank, and it kind of gets a little angle in it. There's an actual video on YouTube somewhere where they're making the die, and you hear the press make this huge banging noise, and it's the die actually straightening out, and that's where the doubling comes from.
Yeah, like snaps into
place. So it's I don't even know. It's something tells me.
Class 8 similar to that, correct?
It is.
Tilt.
It is. But you see people that are giving Class 8 designations all the way out to the rim.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I think some of those nickels, that's why I believe that they're not doing just single pressings anymore. They're doing multiple pressings.
They already know that they're not. So here's an interesting.
I think they're doing it all the time. They're actually.
An interesting thing is if you go look at the key.
There is an
piano.
interview where the guy
piano.
says,
what?
There's an interview where the guy says, if we have to, we will press them again.
They did. They did that because they were studying the oh my gosh, and I can't think of the one with the piano keys.
The
Duke Ellington.
The Duke Ellington.
Yeah.
If you go look at Wexler and you look at that, they actually concluded that is a class 1.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and that's what we were looking at some of the 2023 nickels, and I'm convinced that some of those are class 2. And not class 8. And I think some of them are class 9. And that's what we used to always get was like double doors. You know, and that was class 9 for sure.
And the Lincoln set on Lincoln on like next to his leg and stuff like that.
Yep, that was class 9. That's what I'm saying. They were always in the center of the devices, and now all of a sudden, these double dies are out near the rim, so they're doing something different.
Yep.
There has been a procedural. Maybe it's the person retired, and there's somebody else doing it, and they're doing it differently. It might even be a financial thing. You know, they might have been throwing a ton of dies away that that they don't throw away now. You know, they make them work. I mean, ultimately, for change, who cares if there's a minor double die on it? Even if there's a major double die, it still works.
Yep.
So I'm going to throw this up here just so you guys can see this. This is the Kaneka website. You can also see this on some of the other ones that talks about the variety that are the hub doubling, the different types of doubling, class 1, class 2, distorted hub. I just posted the link in chat. So when you're looking at, trying to understand what it is that they're talking about, this is the information that's there. Again, they talk about class 8, tilted hub doubling, and it goes over exactly what they're talking about. Again, all that information is there. So I just threw that resource in chat. So if you're interested on trying to understand more about what it is that they're talking about, go ahead and pull up that resource and check that out.
Perfect. I'll point out to you guys on these Reverend Polly Murray's on the Philadelphias. There's also a really nice die clash that was originally what I was looking for. Right in front of the eyeball there.
And that's
there's a
the
really
one...
nice die clash. The 25-cent, it's the 5. Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you can see it also below his ear, a straight line. But there's a really nice die clash on these. So keep an eye out for that too.
Yeah, that's definitely one I need to be, I want to kind of keep an eye out for. Hey, Nana Stacks, how are you? I have a 2024 quarter like Paula's and the DDR nickel. Very cool. Yeah, I'd like to find them. I just haven't seen any 2024 coins yet.
I haven't seen any in circulation.
But you buy bags from the mint, right?
I do. The Phillies. Yeah, I buy the 3-roll set of the women's quarters just because I started it and I'm a completionist, so now I got to finish it. Otherwise, I would have stopped with those too. But you know, I want those S-Mint quarters. And then I buy a bag too to search, and then I just spend it. I just spend it. I lose a little bit of money, but
Supreme Ginger's like, and I have it right here. It's a 1885 Morgan that has a die crack across the bottom of it.
Lots of die cracks on the Morgan dollars.
Lots of die cracks on Morgans.
Those are great die markers. Not a big deal.
Yep. This has, unfortunately, this has the ring of succumbing to death.
Oh no.
It is a bummer. It's okay. It's all good though.
Because somebody tried to roll it up and pass it off as an original bankrupt roll.
Probably. And ding, scratch the ring into it. But it's all good. I buy the bags also. Yeah, I have kind of just separated buying anything. After a year of trying to resolve issues and get things taken care of with my account, I just said I'm done. So
but if you guys know, we had Blaine on, and I know certain people are not a fan, but I like him. And they didn't have rolling machines back when the Morgan dollars were around. So you're not going to find bank wrapped rolls.
And even when they've had rolling machines for a long time, and even when they first came out, most banks they were still using little canvas bags. Even in the 40s, because I at one point had a couple bags of 43 P&D steel cents that were mint sealed, and then one was a $2.50 bag. And everybody goes, why would they do that? Well, you'd get a 20, I think they were using $20 bags back then, the full bags. And they would put them in littler bags in there because when a merchant would go to the bank, they didn't need $20 in pennies. They only needed, $2 worth or $5 worth for the whole store. So they give them the little bag instead of giving them rolls. Rolls didn't really get popular until the 40s. Pre-40, there were rolls because Batdorf, I want to say, is 1918.
Batdorf.
Yeah, Batdorf
Batdorf,
was
yeah.
1918, and the other one, I'm trying to think of the name. It was like right around the same time. That wasn't the high speed rolling. You get into that. Most of the banks didn't have the money to buy the rolling machines, so they just put them in bags, or you got them in a, you know, in,
And I want to show you guys something. So if you see something like this, it is not an original bag of Morgan dollars. All right. Just
now the
FYI.
mint, when they recovered all that stuff, I'm sure they threw them in bags and threw them in a vault.
Well, yeah, but a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll take history and they'll try to replicate it and pass things off as original silver Morgan dollar bags.
Yeah.
If you see stuff like this, folks, this is not an authentic
like
bag. Okay,
the Morgan dollar thing, Frosty.
just be aware.
They had silver certificates back in the 50s and 30s that you could take to your bank and they would get redeem them for silver.
Yeah,
even in
very
the
aware.
60s. So those rolls were probably rolled, if they are even that old, probably in the 50s and 60s. For that specific reason, somebody brings a silver certificate in, they just give them a $20 roll of coins. So yeah, to think that it's original rolled from like the 1800s, it's not. They came in little bags, and the bags probably weren't even sealed. They were probably just tied with another piece of canvas by the bank. So, and I don't even know that. I'm speculating at that, but I do know that I still got, even into the 60s. If you got coins that were counted by the assay offices, because they do quality control there, they always broke them up into $5 and $10 bags, and then put them in a $50 bag, and then sealed the $50 bag.
This is
So
more what the bags of
Batdorf's-
Morgans would have looked like back in the day. This isn't-
Batdorf's first coin wrapping machine the patent was applied for in 1908 and it was granted in 1910.
Okay, 1918. Now that I thought it was 18, but like at least I was close. But still, how many banks went out and said, "This is great. We've got to have one." It was not financially feasible for most banks to do it. Even Fed Reserve rolls, you don't really see Fed Reserve bank rolls until the 40s. And the rolls you see in the 40s are usually just large banks in New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, stuff like that. You don't see a ton of banks outside those areas rolling coins.
Yeah.
And it gets big in the 40s. You start seeing a lot more, like Security National. They rolled a ton of coins in the 40s. And when you find original rolls in the 40s, it's usually that bank.
Mm-hmm.
What
Yes,
bank was
me. Please take your coin out of the 2x2 before you photograph it.
Yes, always.
Yes, please.
The light causes issues, and you won't be able to see the detail behind the coin.
Yeah.
Or
Or the
you'll get the
cellophane
glare.
will reflect too.
Yeah.
The plastic, whatever they use. I guess cellophane's the wrong term.
And 2x2s are fairly cheap. So again, hey,
Yeah.
Sorcerer Stan just became a member. Now see, the membership just crushed it. You can see it. So I'm thinking that the gifted membership is not active. So I need to see if I can do that. If not, I may have to figure out a solution. But thanks for becoming a member, Stan. I appreciate you, bud. So Stan's a good dude, man. He's extremely generous, very kind guy.
Now I
And-
want to go buy some buffaloes.
Right? I want to look at some buffaloes myself.
I know. I haven't pulled out my Buffalo nickel book in a while. I need to pull it out and look at it.
Frosty filled up another page in the type book. That's awesome, me. I love that. I've only got like 4 coins left. I need to dig in. After my European trip, I'm gonna focus on getting my 2 half cents and then the bust quarter. I need that bust cap, that cap bust quarter.
That bus cap.
That Kappa bust.
Kappa bust. Kappa bust.
Kappa bust quarter. Yeah. But that's definitely one. I was gifted a membership and decided to upgrade. You're a stud, man. I appreciate you.
Oh, nice, Dan.
Great supporter of the channel. Him and me again. So many people. Paula and Eric. I can't thank you guys enough. We're getting to the time where we're going to be passing on the premiere train.
Yeah, I'm gonna
so
get going.
It is that time.
Thanks.
Now, there is one thing that I also want to do. If you guys are Star Wars fans, may the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with
May the
you.
4th be with
Yeah.
you.
May the 4th. Oh my gosh.
Yes,
Yeah,
so it is May the 4th today, and Silver Surfer is he's selling a bunch of his Star Wars memorabilia. So if you know who Silver Surfer is, he is he's kind of an upgrowing stacking channel. He's really coming up and moving, and he is doing a auction of a bunch of stuff. He normally doesn't do auctions. He doesn't like them. But if you like Star Wars, he's got an at walker that's a 5 ounce. These things are so sought after. Is it 5 or 10 ounce? It might be 10 ounce. These things are like crazy. So if you like Star Wars memorabilia, you're into the Star Wars silver collectible items, go check out Silver Surfer's thing today. He's going to be coming up here pretty shortly too. Normally I don't like to detract from the premiere train, but being May 4th and being Star Wars, it's just one of those things that I think it would be cool. So go check that out. It would be a lot of fun. So, but anyway, remember, tomorrow is Revenge of the 5th.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
boy. And
Okay,
Cinco de
on
Mayo.
that note, Eric, Frostbyte, have a great weekend.
Thanks,
for
Paul. I
having me up
appreciate
again.
you. Thanks for coming
Bye,
up.
guys.
Have a great day, Paula.
Eric, thank you for being here today. I know you've been
Hey,
busy trying to work with
I'm
did you get the flooring
back to
done?
normal. I did. Glad to be back to
Outstanding.
normal, so it should be regular again.
Very cool. So I appreciate you coming up. The conversation's great as always. I know nickels aren't necessarily your
Oh, I love
forte,
'em.
but thanks for coming up and chatting and being a part
Learned a
of
bunch.
the fun today.
All right. See y'all soon.
We'll see y'all tomorrow, okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, again, today is May 4th, and in the honor of Star Wars, may the 4th be with you. Looks like I am frozen. That's not good. I'm just going to do this and just say, I wish you the best. Have a wonderful day. Again, go check out that premiere train or go check out Silver Surfer. Either one of them will be good for you today. But again, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking DB Cooper. Okay. If you guys haven't seen my video yet, please go watch the DB Cooper video. Again, we're talking about numismatics, and this is just kind of an entry into this. There's going to be more discussions about this particular one. I enjoyed putting this particular video together. It's a really good one. Go check that out and then come in tomorrow prepared to talk about the money that DB Cooper stole and little fragments of it that you can buy as a collector. So if that's something that you're interested, go check that out. Come back and look at that. And don't forget to come back later on for Ringmaster Ray and his trade day. Thank you, Ray and Stan, for reminding me of that. All right, folks, we will catch you guys tomorrow.